What's up everyone, it's Skill Up here. The hype train is rolling towards 1.4, but we still have a job to do, and that job is to report on the Should I Buy It vendor reset every single week. I do these videos every Saturday at this time, or at least it's Saturday in Australia. We talk about what the vendors are selling, should you buy it, and if you do buy it, how do you mod it? So if you like this sort of stuff, then drop it a like, and with that, let's check out what's available in the base of operations. Upstairs at the special equipment vendor, we have the Historian. Same as always, you'll find a review for that in the description below. We have a really interesting AUG A3 Para XS. So it's a 204, but it has Meticulous, Determined, and Adept. Now, Determined and Adept, I just want to point out, synchronize really well together. Killing a target reduces skill cooldowns by 9%. That's great. But this one here, Adept, using a skill increases your critical hit chance by 8.5% for 5 seconds. So essentially, if you were someone that was running a fairly high electronics build, using your skills very frequently, then this weapon could work for you. Meticulous is not bad, but it's not fantastic either. I'd probably recommend rolling this one away in favor of a damage talent. But look, not a bad weapon at all. Do have a look at it, especially, as I said, if you're running that kind of electronic style of play. Next up is a really solid MP5-St. It's got Destructive, it's got Predatory, and it's got Self-Preserve. Now, the MP5-St is not as strong as something like a PP19 or an MP7 or any of these sorts of things, but it's decent enough. It's got 38% critical hit damage, which is quite a decent roll. It's not fantastic, but it's good enough. It's got Destructive, which is a top tier talent for PvE content. It's got Predatory, which is a great sustained talent, sort of keeping you healed. And it's also got Self-Preserved, which synergizes extremely well with the SMG archetype, and obviously synergizes really well with Predatory. It's a really solid weapon. It's only 204, but if you are looking at using this as your primary weapon, if you're gearing up, or if you are obviously using an Alpha Bridge SMG combo, then this is very solid indeed. And later on in the video, I'll show you how to mod this thing, but yeah, it's not bad, so do check it out. And finally, we have a military L86LSW, which is an LMG. It's got a really nice 23% damage out of cover roll. It's got Talented, which is not particularly nice. We've got Sustained, which is sort of like a poor man's Predatory, and we've got Meticulous, which we've spoken about is pretty good, but nothing too spectacular. So unfortunately, I would recommend giving this one a miss. Downstairs at the special equipment vendor, we have the Historian. Same as always, we have a converted SMG9 with Deadly, Unforgiving, and Swift. Now, this is not a particularly great weapon. The SMG9 is not a particularly strong type of SMG, and Unforgiving, this guy's saluting me here. Thank you very much, my friend. What's his name? We'll give him a shout out. Shout out to SA Shank 71. Love you, buddy. We'll get straight back to it. So yeah, not a great weapon. It's definitely a miss on that one. The tactical M249 Para is sort of like a watered down version of the M60. It's the other belt-fed style of LMG. Not particularly strong, the M249 Para. The talent rolls on it also aren't great. Skilled, Restored, and Destructive, none of which are particularly exciting for this type of weapon, so I would recommend giving it a miss. And finally, we've got a SOCOM M1A with Talented, Harmful, and Intense. This is almost like the Historian. It's got Harmful and Intense exactly as the Historian does. They're awful talents. The proc chance on them is way too low and the impact is too small, and Talented itself is not particularly exciting either. So unfortunately, that is also a miss. The special blueprints vendor downstairs is selling a custom L86A2 blueprint. The L86 is one of the best automatic weapons in the game. Even though it's a 204, it'll still do really well. So maybe check that one out if you're interested in that kind of thing. The mod that he's selling is the Performance Gear Mod Blueprint. Now, the developers have actually specifically said that they are making changes to performance gear mods in the future. They've said, you know, hold on to your performance gear mods. So I don't exactly know what that means, but it's very exciting. If you haven't picked up this blueprint yet, I'd really recommend doing so. Downstairs in the underground, there's actually something good on for sale, which is like crazy, I know, but here it is. It's an enhanced PP19. It's a 229 rank 40 weapon. It's got skilled headshot kills with this weapon increase signature skill resources by 12%. With this weapon, if you get headshot kills, you could get your signature back in as little as 6 kills. Makes it extremely good for solo grinding lower difficulty content. not bad at all. We have Sustained, which I've mentioned before, isn't particularly exciting, but hey, it's a bit of healing and extra health, not bad. And finally, Hurried, which is a really strong throughput talent. It gets your reload time down to 1 second, which means you spend way less time reloading and way more time firing. It's a really solid weapon. I mean, from a damage perspective, it's not a huge damage weapon, but from a utility perspective, it's really, really solid. So I definitely recommend checking it out if you're a rank 40. Have a think about it because it's quite solid. Next up, we have a G36 Enhanced. It's got Adept. Using a skill increases your critical hit chance by 8.5% for 5 seconds. We've already spoken about it. It's a pretty decent talent. It can work quite well. It's got self-preserved on it though, which is great, and you do build for crit on an assault rifle, so that works well. And we've got Focused, which I don't like that much. You generally want to be using your skills rather than not. I like to roll it away, however, there it is. We also have another G36 here with Dominant, Vicious, and Focused. Not a particularly great roll on this, I'd skip that one. And finally, the 163 is an enhanced PP19 with Vicious, Restored, and Hurried. Yeah, Restored is just one of the worst talents in the game. Vicious is okay, but you do need to be at full health to get value out of it. Not particularly exciting. I would personally give this one a miss. At the DZ3 vendor, the guy that sells the good stuff, we have a military MK46. It's the 182 level. It's Ferocious, Prepared, and Dominant. Prepared, there's no way you'll be using this at 40 meters plus, so that's just a write-off. And Dominant, we've already talked about, is not a particularly exciting talent. I would definitely give this one a miss. We have a military L86 LSW, another one. It's got Adept, Dominant, and Swift, but the talent rolls on those are not particularly great either, so skip that one too. Black Market RPK-74E is actually one of the best automatic weapons in the game. It's right up there with the L86. The talent rolls on this are Stable, Dominant, and Self-Preserved. Stable actually is a terrible talent. I've done a video specifically on it. It brings almost no benefit. Dominant, we've already spoken about, not great, and Self-Preserved is very, very solid indeed. But yeah, look, sadly, this is a bit of a miss. It's a great weapon type with some pretty disappointing talent, so give this one a skip. We have a Tactical Org A3P with Dominant. Again, with Predatory, we've already spoken about, and it's got Brutal in the bottom slot, which is a bit of a shame actually, because Brutal is actually better off in one of these top slots. It's really easy to hit the requirements for that, and then you're better off having something else down here. But look, hey, it's okay. You know, it's a 204 item. It's got Brutal, which is really great. You know, Predatory isn't terrible. You roll away Dominant, and you have yourself a fairly decent weapon there. And finally, we've got a First Wave PF45. Like any other pistol you will ever look at, you will just ignore it if it isn't an X45. The X45 is so ludicrously overtuned that every other pistol looks pointless. So don't pick this one up. It is not worth it, especially not for 192,000 Darkzone funds. The blueprints that we're seeing this week are a PX Storm, which is another pistol, so skip that one. And sadly, we have the SOCOM MK20 SSR blueprint. Pretty much anything other than an SVD or an M1A, or an M44, I should say, and the marksman rifle category is not worth using, especially the SOCOM MK20 SSR. It is really bad. I would definitely never recommend using it, no matter how good the talent roll was. The Darkzone gear mod vendor at DZ4 is selling the firearms gear mod, and he's selling the performance gear mod. It's exactly the same one as in the base of operations. It's just you're buying it with Darkzone funds instead of Phoenix credits. So yeah, check that out if you need it. And finally, at the DZ5 vendor, the guy that sells the weapon mods, we've got a Tyrant Suppressor with initial bullet stability and reduced threat. Neither of these are good, so don't get that. Loud Vent Break, stability and increased threat. Again, increased threat, not fantastic. Skip that one. We've got a Handstop OD Green Blueprint with accuracy. It's a large type grip mod, so yeah, if you need accuracy on a large type weapon like an assault rifle, then cool, go for it. We've got Vertical Grip Wolf Grey, which is initial bullet stability and it's random bonus. Initial bullet stability, you never want to build for that, really avoid that. And as always, we have the PEQ-15 with hip fire accuracy and the Rugged Mini Reflex Sight with accuracy. And finally, let's take a look at how to mod this MP5-St that some of you might have purchased. It's a really nice weapon. This isn't the same roll that you'll see. This is one I had in my bank, but the modding process is the same. You'll see here, I'm just going to fire the weapon naked first, no mods, to show you how it performs. I'm going to shoot at the dummy. You're going to see here that it really does not pull back very much. You'll see it does not pull from left to right very much, and you'll see that the reticle does not grow very large. So from that, we kind of infer that the weapon is really going to be modded for pure DPS and not for stability. So things like optimal range and accuracy, you don't even really need that. Headshot damage and critical hit chance is really what you're going for in that optical slot. You just want raw damage in this thing. Importantly, critical hit chance is critical on this because you want to unlock the value of the critical hit damage. It's not actually on this weapon because this is an older style one, but anything that's dropped recently is going to have bonus critical hit damage, which means you need to have plenty of crit on the weapon to unlock the value of that. In terms of what you put on the magazine, I'd really strongly recommend just putting straight rate of fire because, yeah, I mean, you're not actually worried about the stability of the weapon over time. It doesn't matter that you're firing faster because the weapon is just so stable. So rate of fire and weapon damage is a really good combo. I'm not sure if I have one of those on me now. No, I don't. But rate of fire and weapon damage is actually what I would recommend. But for now, I'm just going to put rate of fire and magazine size. In the underbarrel, it really doesn't make a lot of difference. I mean, you can put stability and horizontal stability if you like, but you're not even going to feel it really. And finally, what do we want here? We definitely want more crit chance. Again, the more crit chance we have on this weapon, the more it leverages the bonus critical hit damage that we get for free right there. So, you know, accuracy, bit of a waste. I'd probably, yeah, look, it doesn't even matter what I put, accuracy or stability, as long as I put critical hit chance, that's the ball game. And then when we fire this thing, you'll see how it performs. Again, I'm not adjusting for any aim. That thing just doesn't move. Like, it's so just, I mean, it's towards the end it does because obviously it's a much larger magazine now. But with a rate of fire mod, the reticle is just like really manageable. And I'm gonna trying to hold it now on the target's head, and you'll just see what I mean. Like, come on now, like that's ridiculous. It's so easy to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. So yeah, that's why SMGs are really strong. If you can get within optimal range of your target, they're very stable weapons. You build them for damage. They have lots of built-in critical hit damage, and then you just like aim at their heads and just do massive damage. Like it's crazy. So anyway, that is a strong weapon. The one that's at the available at the vendor, it is very good. I really hope that if it works for your build, you pick it up and you enjoy it. But for now, guys, that's it. If you like this video, do drop it a like, and if you you know, want this sort of coverage in the future, be sure to stick around. Be sure to subscribe. 1.4 is on the way. I'm going to be doing so much coverage of that in the lead up. Cannot wait for that. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Take good care, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.